I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for coming out in Squall 2020.
That's
Right? As it will be known from here on, I think. Squallpocalypse. Yes. All right. We don't have anyone who's asked to speak on any item that's not on the agenda, so we'll just start right in with the agenda. The first item is the report of the secretary. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of December 18th?
I move that we approve the minutes of the regular meeting Wednesday, December 18th, 2019.
Second.
Did anybody have any changes? Just had a couple small ones. Elaine, at the bottom of page 3, and John, you can confirm this with me. I think the Quiz Bowl is on MPBN instead of PBS. It's Maine Public Broadcasting Network, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's the very last, on page 3 where it says March on PBS. It's MPBN.
Oh, MPBS, okay.
MPBN, N is in Nancy.
MPBN, okay.
Yep.
Which is part of the public broadcast system.
Right.
They call it.
Right, but we'll give them credit
Yeah.
because it's their.
That's how they self-identify, so we should go ahead.
Yeah. And then I, just on page 5, in the last paragraph with Mr. Scully reported I think it should be is enjoying his time instead of been enjoying, because he's still working with clubs. And then in the second sentence, he stated that one of his goals instead of 4.
I'm sorry, you stated that?
Just that instead of 4.
Instead of 4, okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Did anybody else have anything? Nope. Can we vote? We can vote, right? Yep. Yep, we can vote.
We can.
Okay, all those in favor? Great. Okay, the only thing on my report today is the town officials meeting, and Sue went for the board this morning, and I believe that Mr. Caverly and Ryan were there too, so we'll.
Sorry if I
but-
screw up, you can fix it.
So what happened?
They talked about budget timelines and stuff starting up soon in the LD1 numbers. We can't, the school stuff, the state doesn't release the numbers till the end of this month, so we
Couldn't give
speak
them
on
anything.
that.
Yeah.
Perry told us about his excellent deal on health insurance. He was very excited about it.
Third meeting before that. Very proud of it.
But we're talking about the TIF money that Elliot, has, and Perry's very knowledgeable about TIF stuff, so he's going to try to help Dana get that organized.
Okay.
Pump station here, like to getting test holes to do sewer under the road and that stuff. He's hoping that could be operational even in April.
Wow.
Continuing with plans for the new road, but in the meantime, trying to get some gravel on Punkintown Road because it's kind of becoming
Is it washing
pretty,
away?
It's slippery.
pretty ugly.
Yeah.
Because it's very eroded up there.
Okay.
So, working out the financing for that. One of the things that he and Dana were talking about regarding the TIF was bringing sewer up 236, because now Elliot has approved that we can do that.
Okay.
And one of the points he makes is like there's no hydrant in middle school. And not a lot of sprinklers.
Correct.
So that's kind of a selling point for
Yep.
getting that to happen.
Okay.
And could be important. And yeah, that's about it, really.
Yeah, Bob McPherson was there, a select person from Elliott, and just shared that their concern is that there is not a fire hydrant in front of the Marshall Middle School, which he is correct. That was something that, just you don't think of often.
Yeah.
That's something he was concerned about. And then also just talking about the sprinklers, the winter sprinklers that there are there, just as they were talking about. I think Elliott's kind of laid out a plan that where they'd like to go to the community and ask to do kind of a phase 1 of the project where they could get approval from the voters to be able to to do sewer up to a certain point. I think that they had said right around the storage areas, I think is kind of the area that it's mentioned.
I thought they were trying to get up further.
And that would be phase two.
Because they have the
yeah.
money for, but they also were talking about piggybacking onto that state project, since the road's gonna be torn up anyways.
That's correct.
To just do it then, so
Yeah,
it's only
2021,
one.
does that sound right? I think that was the state project.
Spring of 2021?
I think so.
yeah.
Yep, so that,
So that it would only be torn up once.
Yep.
Which makes sense, and then they would talked about putting in maybe like turning lane kind of things, restructuring the traffic flow a little bit like it is for Beach Road South, kind of trying to carry that north.
Okay.
So that turning into like the Tidewater School there doesn't back up.
Oh, that would be
That
nice.
kind of
Yeah.
thing.
and the only other thing that I would mention is that Perry spoke about just the concern at Central School with the traffic in the morning, as
Okay.
being a concern. So what I'm going to do is reach out to Chief LaJoy and then talk to him about doing kind of a traffic audit. We did that
Yeah.
last year in Elliott with Sergeant Lund, and that was a really successful venture that we did. We're really
Because then that's where we changed the flow, right?
change the flow of traffic, kind of
Okay.
change the drop-off and pickup, which really took a lot of pressure off State Road. State Road would kind of get backed up for about 300 yards in the morning at certain times. And so if we could do the same thing at Central, Nina and I talked about it a little bit off and on. I think Nina said, they're open to anything. We've tried it all. I just kind of want to take another look at it. We'll do that. But that's something we'll probably look at in the springtime.
Okay.
And so they're going to invite members of the school to be able to come and be part of that conversation when they start I think it's called the Public Safety Committee. I think it's the Pedestrian Safety Committee, I believe he wants to call it.
Okay, awesome.
So it was
Wonderful.
a busy meeting today.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Great. And I think we haven't figured out going forward. I think we're at that point. I'll take February, and then we'll just figure out
I
from
have
there.
February.
Oh, you have February?
I'm quite sure I have it in my calendar.
Oh, Joe's got
We
February.
should fight over it.
March.
I think you were in good shape.
And you have
Yeah,
March?
that's March.
I have March.
Maybe we have figured it out.
Maybe we did.
You want to arm wrestle for the win?
No. All right, I guess we are ahead. Okay, March, so maybe I'll take April. If we haven't already
Perfect.
figured that out, who knows, it might already be somebody's.
And April will be at Elliott, I believe.
Okay, well, I will check and make sure Lisa hasn't already picked that one.
Perfect.
Okay, perfect, Mr. Capley.
Well, thank you very much, Madam Chairperson. It is really an exciting night for us. Thank you all for coming. We met back in July and talked about some of the things the board would like to hear about. And at that time, it was just some overwhelming things that the PTOs of all of our schools have really helped us out. But really the work at Elliott and Central had kind of been highlighted at a few of the meetings. And so we asked tonight to take a moment or two to be able to kind of recognize the work that the Elliott PEEPS does, and then also the Central School PTO. There's been a ton of projects ranging from the Race for Education to the Monster Mile, and to these donations of the goats the past summer, doing some work on the playgrounds, to a new pre-K playground. It's just been some incredible partnerships we've been able to create. So I asked Nina and Mo to be able to take some time to be able to share, and I'm just so nice to see staff members here and members of those groups to be able to be supported. So I turn it over to the two of you.
Nina has written notes. She-
Okay.
Yeah. Here. Yeah.
So we're just so appreciative. I can't even really express it, but we're here to just honor you because we really can't even imagine having you as your partnership and just being so flexible and easy, and we just have such a real wonderful relationship. And we just admire you so much. So I asked everyone just to, and we're just talked about the last few years because we can't even list how much they have done for us. I'm sure I left so much. So shout out if I forgot things, because I know I just put what I could. So big, most recent is creating the Monster Mile, and that has raised over $30,000 both years in a row. So it's just been a huge undertaking and a real big risk. We had no idea what that was going to be like, and we just we ran with it and organized it, and it's been just fantastic for parents and for staff, and it's such a special day. Things, dinners for conferences, that makes us also happy on our conference night. We have dinner to look forward to. Spoiling us for Staff Appreciation Week, that you go above and beyond to make that week incredibly special. You send our third graders to the Nutcracker every year. You organize a cast party. You do an ice cream social in the fall. Field trips, assemblies are countless. This year we had extra lights for the Nutcracker that made everyone hear it, so it was super exciting to have lights. Enrichment programs like the Native American presentations. You tie-dye our tie-dye shirts for a field day, which is a huge undertaking as well, that you organize all the classes, get volunteers for tie-dyeing, and then do our picture on, somebody even gets on the roof to take our picture, which I would never do, so that's amazing. This year, our pre-K playground that he did from the ground up and worked with our teams and watched it happen, and it just was such a pleasure. Classrooms pledged with multiple mini grants. You funded our Lucy Calkin Library for reading workshops. You organized parent volunteer scheduling for our specialists. So we have multiple volunteers that come in and help with art and music and PE, and it's just been fantastic. You decorate the ceiling in the gym hallway, and you help with our book fair decorations. Staff our book fair so that our book fair can be run during the day. Every year you have individual reading bags for our second graders. You even decorated our bathrooms last year. We asked them what would staff want. Like, we hate our bathrooms. So our bathrooms are now filled with inspirational messages, and we have like, hair ties and hand sanitizer. So it just like makes us so happy. It's a little thing. It is. Oh, and there's Kristen Sessler, our co-president. So talking about all the amazing things that you do. So decorate our bathroom. The huge thing also that you started for a few years, and you provide snacks for children that can't afford snacks on their own. So every child at Central School is always fed. So we have multiple snacks, and even if it runs a little low, I just call and it shows up. Then so it's been that's been a huge thing for us. You upkeep our outdoor classroom. That was a commitment a long time ago, and you keep the upkeep. You remount the mounds or rebuild the mounds. And this year we're getting 2 new water fountains to have filtered water. So those are just, I mean, that's just even just a touch of what we do. But mostly what you do is that you make us feel so special, and you make them feel so. Kathy Collins, and this big gift funded Kathy Collins to come and work with every single one of us, which again is a huge impact for our students. So and you trusted us and listened to us, and it's just. Did I miss anything else?
They're great cheerleaders.
It was a great pep rally, that's for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
I didn't know I had to stand up in front of all of you. It makes me kind of nervous. So, I don't even know where to begin. Our peeps are the lifeblood of our school, literally. We would not be able to function emotionally, socially, health-wise, academically, enrichment-wise, for a single day without their support. And all the things that Nina said, I won't repeat them, but almost identical list that happened at Elliott. Kind of the history of the peeps is a number of years ago, going way back to Matt, I had a desire and a dream, and I usually dream beyond reason. And I said, how can we start thinking about ways to enliven this group? And through the years, and a couple of different presidents and a couple of different boards, we really have worked hard to rebrand the group from, we wanted people to shift their interest or their perspective of it not being like the Harper Valley PTA or Bad Moms PTA, but really a partnership group. And we were fortunate to have creative minds with gifts in graphic design and branding and that kind of stuff. And that's where the acronym PEEPS came up, which stands for Partnership of Elliott Elementary Parents. And that's what it is. It's a true partnership. It was hard to even decide or get the word out to who would be important to be here tonight because everybody plays such an important role. They've taken us from what the 1980s, 90s model of a parent group to really kind of almost creating a corporation, if you might. We put together an organizational chart where we always have people who are on the board, because we have to have a board, that are training and working collaboratively with people of like the next spring out, so that when some people, our dream is when people age out of our school, when our children age out of our school, our peeps can never age out. And so that we have that momentum where we don't lose it with the change of heart. We became a 503c(b). Is that all the right numbers and letters in order? 501c3. 501c3. So we became one of those, and they did the research. They figured out how to get that done, and the articles, of putting that together. They found out how to get nonprofit postage for our mailings that go out for the Race for Education, and all of those things which have really helped build a sustainable organization. And like the Monster Mash, which sounds so exciting, I got to see a little clip of it when I was at Central one day. Our Race for Education is our #1 and only fundraiser. There are a couple of things we do throughout the year, but that money doesn't come to us. Those are service learning projects that support something within the community or the greater area. But our race raises enough money to fund and partnered with our investments money that the board gives us, really expands the enrichment opportunities for our kids beyond anything I could have dreamed of. And we made a commitment way back in the beginning when Matt kind of helped the race come to us, and we figured it out. When we started talking with the guy that packaged the race, developed it to begin with. I looked at Matt and I said, I don't know what he's been inhaling before this, but he's crazy. We'll never raise that kind of money, There's no way. And sure enough, we did. And every year we've increased that amount of money over the year prior. It's become kind of an institutional thing in our school. We've decided to roll everything into it: the field day, the wellness fair, the school picnic, all of those things into one kind of grand day. But it's taken a lot of years and a lot of creative thinking, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to get to that point. But then we don't ask parents for money after that. The Peaks pay for every field trip for every child. They pay for almost all of our guest authors. We pay for guest speakers to come in, the planetarium, to go to Seacoast Science, to go to the music hall for plays. They have developed our grade level enrichment that they budget for the things that are put in the school-wide enrichment. And then they have like the giving board that's up at conference time where teachers can put in on a wish list, and they pull out tickets, and parents or families, whoever, can pull out tickets. But then they also started a system called Peak Spots, where teachers have an allowance, for lack of a better word, a designated amount, and as they're shopping for their classrooms before school, they always want those cute chevron, whatever, or now this year the big shiplap to decorate their classrooms. All they have to do is take a picture of the receipt and email it to the Peaks, and then a reimbursement check comes to them, and so they have their Peak Spots to get. What I love is that most of all is a sense of community that you have built. Back in the earlier days when Carmen, who here was the president, and her kids have aged out, and she keeps coming back for our dance parties every single month. A lot of people who get involved don't leave. They keep coming back to contribute, and they're carrying a lot of that momentum to the other schools, to Great Works and the high school and the middle school, which is what we want. We want everybody at their first initiation in the school system with their kids to get that sense of community and contribution through the district as a whole as we move on up. And I think they've done a phenomenal job with that. But Carmen came and talked to me, said, let's dream. Matt's got this idea. And then came a new wave of new pre-Ks with their first kid coming to school. And they were like, we don't even know what a parent group is. Can you sit down? And they said, well, what do you want it to be? I think Claudia came in and said, I don't know what this is, but I'm a new parent and I want to know what's going on. They had probably an hour and a half conversation, and it's been a dynamo since then. We brought a lot along. I can't ever say enough of them, the things that they do for our staff. It's just incredible. And I know I would be lost without them. When I have a problem to solve, I can go to the Peaks as easily as I can go to my leadership team, and they will help me through. And one of the many things I love, in addition to what I've already said, is that they do a great job in fostering the communication between school and home. Anything I put out, they put out 6 more different ways in addition to what I put out. And they really that's not the right word. They are involved in the community, and when somebody has a question or the conversation starts to get negative, they put a positive twist on it and direct them to the people that can give them the answers to answer the questions. So it really takes a lot of the angst out of the what could happen in the community when people get unhappy with their social media or whatever. They really do a good job in helping you keep things positive and focused on the right thing, which is the kids. So, thank you.
I just want to say this, it's just how blessed we are to be able to work with a community that values education, that we can have a true partnership with a number of things that we do, and just I think the creative ways that we've been able to leverage those funds and those relationships to create these great experiences for our kids. It's kind of one of the hidden secrets that we don't talk a whole lot about, and I think when we talked this summer about kind of some of those secret gems that people don't necessarily know about, this is certainly one of those top things. So we just thank you for coming in, and if the board had any questions or anything.
Yeah. It's wonderful to see all the faces because we hear about peeps.
We would love for
And the
people to be able
PTO.
to come to the race or the Monster Mash or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's a rock wall, whatever, the wheelchairs, there's a lot of fun stuff to do. So.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Well, keep up the good work.
Thank you very much for
Thank
coming.
you so
I really
much.
appreciate it.
Yeah. You're welcome to stay. We'll probably be done in about 5 minutes. But there's not much
You
more
came
on
to
the
a good
agenda,
meeting,
but
so.
you can leave too if you would like to get going. Yeah, it's a very short agenda tonight.
Our 2 student representatives were unable to make it this
Right.
evening, so there will be no student reports.
Yes.
So that concludes my report.
And we don't have anything on correspondence. The report of the committees, finance and facilities will meet on the 22nd, and I believe that policy is the 29th instead of the 28th. Yeah, it's
Wednesday.
okay. It's okay. I think it's the 29th. We don't have any new business. So
Wow.
do any of the principals have anything else to share before?
No.
Or you guys are probably all talked out. How about you, Jerry?
I just, the one I was thinking, man, I got nothing today, but the only thing I would say is next Thursday, Josh Livingston at the high school, he's got a course here, and it's like new theater, and so one of the things he did last year is he wanted his kids to perform, and so he called me up and said, can I bring my kids up there? And so I think that a lot of times it's, we hear about the play or the one-act play, the musical for the district, or the plays at the middle school or our school. And so here are these kids in high school that have never acted before, they're taking this course, and so they come up and they really do a great job. So I just put an email out to staff saying, Josh is interested in bringing the kids up, are you interested? I'm not just gonna book the assembly unless the teachers are interested. And they were like, yes, it was so exciting last year. So it's neat to see that the connection that we have with the high school. We also had a kiddo come in yesterday, a freshman, and he was coming in to tutor one of our 5th graders in the area of technology. And I was telling him, I said, oh man, a few years ago we had a couple of kids from the high school that came in and was tutoring some of our 5th graders. And he goes, Mr. Bunnell, I was the 5th grader they were tutoring.
Oh my God.
But it's neat to
That's
see
awesome.
that
That's
he had it
great.
from it, but he's gonna get it
Yeah,
out, so.
that's great. That's wonderful. Does anybody else on the board have anything else? Heidi, anything? No?
The only thing I would say is just to keep the board updated. The K-5 math curriculum review team is well underway. And we have 2 site visits tomorrow. We're going up to Wyndham Raymond to see Ready Math and to Saco to see Eureka. And then over the next couple of weeks, we'll also be looking at Bridges down in Northampton and Illustrated Math in Portland. So
Wonderful.
teachers are going out and really doing some great research, and it's been fun.
Good.
So far, so good. No decisions yet.
That's nice that you can see them in action, though.
I think it's really
And
important.
talk to people who've been using,
Yeah.
Talking to the teachers about what the real story is as
Yeah.
opposed to what the shiny
what the
story.
salesperson wants you to
Right.
know. Absolutely. Get the real people. Perfect. Do you have anything else, John? No?
That's it.
All right, then. Oh, you have something?
I want to note that last year at this
I
time.
know.
I got
know.
the meeting done in 17 minutes.
I
So
know.
you were away.
I know.
You didn't let Mike and I talk.
Well, if you could have just, no. Just kidding. It's okay, I'm gonna beat that record before
14
I
minutes,
leave.
Joe. June 2nd last year, 14 minutes.
14 minutes.
14 minutes,
January
excuse
2nd,
me.
14 minutes.
14 minutes on
This
January
will be the
2nd.
second quickest, though, if we close it out here in a minute.
All right. Well, at least I'll have the second. Okay, motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All right.
I object. I'll second.
Okay. All those in favor then?